Hi, my name is Boris Mono, I'm a film editor based in Hamburg, Germany. And this is the second part or the second episode of the Talking with Tom from Packhacker. If you haven't seen the first part, check it out in the info tab above. The talk with Tom was so long and enjoyable that we had to split it up in 2 episodes. And yeah, this is the second episode. So I hope you enjoy this type of videos of me talking with other creators. And let's see if I can find more creators who would enjoy talking with me about bags, traveling, packing, EDC, and also other types of stuff, or maybe YouTube or tech, for instance. So please enjoy the second episode with Tom from Packhacker. Okay, we are back, episode 2 of our nerd talk, nerd chat with Tom from Packhacker. And if you haven't seen the last episode, just go ahead on my channel and check it out. It was very interesting. We were talking a lot about bags, but this time we just go ahead and do some other non-bag related items. All right, Tom. So, as I said, we talked about bags, but I think traveling is also about all the other items in your pockets, right? The so-called EDC, everyday carry. And I think many people will ask you as well, if they think about bags and traveling, what's your EDC at the moment? And I think it's a really trendy topic at the moment. Could you say that? I mean, everyone is kind of talking about EDC and stuff like that. So it would be interesting to know what you're carrying.
Yeah, definitely an interesting topic. I remember looking and seeing the site Everyday Carry.
Yeah, that's an awesome page. It's really cool.
Awesome site. Yeah, really awesome site. And it's so cool. Everybody does their pocket dump, a nice little flat lay, and you can see everything. I love the color themes that some folks do as well. Like there was this all white carry that somebody had a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh my God, so great. EDC, mine honestly, I'm sort of basic when it comes to EDC. I've got an iPhone 7 Plus with a case. I've got a pop socket on it just for some stabilization.
Those pop sockets are those things that you stick to the back of the phone, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And that, okay. All right.
So it gives you a little stabilization. They're durability wise, they're not they've got about a 6-month shelf life if you're lucky. But I think it helps.
You're gonna change your phone usually after 2 years anyway, so it doesn't matter that much, right?
Yeah, replace them in and out. I do have also the Trave Contour wallet that I've been using just for the last probably 6 months. I really love that wallet that I think you reviewed, where I can't remember the model of it, but when you press the button and it'll fan out the cards for you.
Yeah, that's the secret wallet,
Yeah, but I think that's really great.
But isn't it, I was always wondering, the Travex, isn't that with that leather and the metal all around?
Yes.
Isn't that destroying your pants pockets every time you pull it out and push it into your back pockets? Because there are lots of hooks on it, right?
There's no hook on it. I wonder if I have it right here. I can just grab it. There's a carabiner loop on it.
Yeah.
And it is made of metal, but I do keep it in my front pocket. I've always kept my wallet in my front pocket. You cannot, it's hard to sit on your back pocket because it's
it's really big,
stainless steel. It's that thick.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I've sort of been really just focused on the travel bags and what to travel with. I haven't really if I was more into the EDC wallets, I would probably be, trying more.
So,
I actually do have one.
Hold on. You don't have a multi-tool, although you have been traveling the world, and you don't have a multi-tool?
I do. I do have 2 multi-tools. Yeah, I've got.
But you don't carry it every day.
No. Well, it's in my bag most of the time.
Okay, then I would call it EDC as well. Right?
Let me show you that. Yeah, I'll call it EDC. Let me grab it real quick, actually. So I usually grab this little guy, which is this little, I think it's discontinued, but it's from Gerber.
Yeah.
I brought these along with my trip because if I get into an Airbnb or a coffee shop or something and the table's like wobbly, I can fix it. Because I just, it's hard to like type and work with a wobbly surface. And generally, like I started doing this thing at my Airbnbs where like if somebody had like a loose doorknob or something like that, I would just like tighten it up and fix it for them. So
that's cool. But,
it kind of became.
But
like
why
a
don't
funny
you
thing.
carry like a knife with, well, like a Leatherman with more multi-tools on them? Wouldn't that be a better solution? Oh, but you can't carry it on the plane, right? That's the
yes.
reason.
So
okay, all right. I
so
answered my own question.
yeah, I mean, we just moved to Detroit in November, so it's generally new, like being in a home where I could carry a knife if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. But in my head, kind of, and for the viewers of Packhacker and for the people that are there looking at our content, I try to stay in much of a mode of travel as possible.
I see.
Always going for TSA compliance.
Okay.
I've got like a nice electric toothbrush here, but I also test like smaller travel ones, and even if it takes longer to brush my teeth. But yeah, so I'm kind of in that mindset. And yeah, EDC.
Okay, if it's not like EDC in terms of those knives and stuff like that in your pocket, but what are the items that always are in your backpack?
Many cables and dongles.
Yeah, with the MacBook Live, right?
Yeah. Many cables and dongles. I always carry at least 2 USB-C cables, like little miniature ones for redundancy. Thumb drive, because you never know when you're going to need it.
Of course.
All this, I've been playing with the best way to organize this. We reviewed the Bond travel gear. I saw you had that too. We reviewed that. And then right now everything's just stuffed into a Magpul DACA pouch. And I really kind of like that.
Yeah, those are really, really cool. I like the look of it.
Yeah, the look is good. They've got like a dot grid matrix on them for labeling. And
I've seen that on your channel. Yeah, that's pretty cool. At first I thought you were like just going ahead and had one customized, but the idea of those dot grids on them, that's really good. I was wishing that more companies would allow some way to label all the stuff that you have, because I label everything and using all the pouches. I mean, Gorok is going the right way with the Velcro thingies.
Yes.
But many other companies like packing cubes, especially packing cubes without the mesh, you need a way to label them in some way. And I don't understand why not many people do that, or many companies. It's kind of strange to me.
That's a really good point. Yeah, and some companies, I haven't really thought about it, but that is a really good point. I mean, some companies, now that I'm thinking about it, like we're a big fan of the Eagle Creek Spectre cubes because they're really lightweight and they're just like ripstop nylon. And on their site, they say like one of the benefits of those is that you can see through them to see what's in there, but like you really can't. So they're trying to solve it, with that, and especially you have a lot of dark clothing, right?
Yeah, that's
some kind of label. Yeah. I mean, you can have like a mental model in your head for with colors, like okay, blue is t-shirts, red is pants, whatever. But yeah, labeling is great, and that dot grid matrix on the DACA pouches is super smart.
Yeah, those Magpul is a company, right? Yeah, Magpul. Those Magpul things are really cool, but also like all the great stuff, it's in the US, and shipping for just like a small pouch to Germany is I think $20, and then custom fees makes them unreasonable expensive, unfortunately, for what they are. But
I know.
At some point I'm going to come back to the US and then probably buy too much stuff as soon as I'm there. All right, let's continue.
Well, come on out. Anything you want. You let me know what you want. I'll collect it all here, and then you come to Detroit, and we'll hang out, and I'll give you all your stuff. There you go.
Awesome.
Anytime.
Detroit, yeah, it's on my list, but I was kind of scared about it. Last year I was working with a director who lives in Detroit, and he was telling me all those horror stories about. Isn't there this train station that is abandoned in Detroit? Like this abandoned train station where all the drug addicts are at the moment, and that's what else was there? Like a lot of districts in Detroit that are kind of dodgy, right, at the moment, or is that getting better?
There's definitely dodgy areas of Detroit,
Okay.
and I'm pretty new to the city itself. I've only been living here for a couple months now, permanently, so I can't really speak a lot to the history and from an experience perspective. But yeah, I mean, Detroit has definitely seen its days, and I think that's something that attracted me to moving to the city. Is like there's sort of this ethos and this mentality here that like Detroit will not give up, and Detroit will like keep pushing and going, and like you can really feel it here. Like things are just turning around, and there's a lot of creative people that have fled to this city. Not necessarily fled, but I would say flocked to the city because it just has that vibe, and you can create and you can be an entrepreneur, and
That's awesome.
You can be an artist, and a lot of that. I mean, like a good example is the director that lived in Detroit. I mean, I'm sure he would say the same thing. But it's a very exciting time for Detroit, and I think it's turning around, and a ton of creativity here. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I will put Detroit on my bucket list, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, is it like, I was in St. Pauli when I was in Hamburg.
Yeah.
That's kind of a rougher area, right? Or
It is. It's getting really touristy.
Yes,
and
okay.
You need to be a little bit aware of your surroundings, obviously, like in most of the places that are touristy. But I guess from the outside, everything looks a little bit more worse than it actually is. So it's probably the same, I guess.
There's character to that, right? Yeah.
Excuse me? I didn't.
There's a lot of character to that too.
Definitely. I mean, Hamburg is a pretty cool city. It's not too big. It's not too small. The only downside about Hamburg it's probably a little bit like Seattle. I've never been to Seattle, but every time I hear about Seattle, it's like always raining, and Hamburg is the same. It's always raining. It's always cold, and we don't have seasons. For instance, right now it's supposed to be winter time, and it snows like for an hour, and 2 hours later the snow is gone, and it's just like cold. And that's kind of, we don't have that romantic Christmas, for instance. That's kind of, that's the bad thing about Hamburg. But other than that, it's pretty cool. All right, then let's. So, we're talking about lots of bags and stuff like that, and I have another question, but before I ask that question, what's your favorite non-bag, or let's say non-travel related item that you always like, or that you always use and carry with you on traveling, for instance, as well? I mean, the easiest answer would be your phone, but the phone is off limits.
Phone's off limits, yeah. I carry a spork with me and travel chopsticks.
Travel chopsticks?
Stainless steel.
Okay.
Yeah, they compress down to about that long, and then you can unfold them out. But I started doing that. Yeah, okay. All right, that's kind of a weird one. So 2 reasons. I think one, when you are living remotely, you end up generating a lot of waste because of the nature of the lifestyle.
Yeah, of course.
You're eating out a lot more. You're hopping from place to place. If you have an Airbnb for like a month or 2 or 3, it's a lot easier to kind of settle in. But if you're just going like 1 week here, 1 week there, you go to the grocery store, you get a bunch of groceries. Sometimes it's hard to time all that, and you're eating out a lot, you're getting a lot of takeout. So I like to try to not use like plastic utensils as much as possible, and just use the titanium spork or the chopsticks. And then another weird thing is just like for convenience, because you'll be like sitting at the airport or something, and you'll get food, and then you'll be like, oh, I forgot to grab a set of plastic cutlery, and you're like, oh, it's fine. I'll just like pull out my spork out of my bag, and I'm good to go. So
that's awesome.
It's sort of like a lazy thing, but I would say that's probably like one of the weirder things that I take with me. That's actually pretty useful. Really
cool.
Yeah,
I like that's a great idea. Especially, I mean, in terms of convenience, it's good. In terms of, is that the right word? Sustainability? Yeah.
Yes.
That's incredible. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And are you allowed to take it on the plane, the spork? Is it all right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It's been all right on every flight I've taken for the last 2 years. Yeah.
That's awesome. And why? I was always wondering why titanium. What's the benefit of titanium besides it's lightweight, right? Is it
super light? Yeah.
But is it better than aluminium? What are the benefits between titanium and aluminium, for instance?
I'm not exactly sure the benefits. I think stainless steel is used in a lot of cookware, maybe due to sanitary reasons. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
But I know that it is really, really lightweight.
Okay.
And not sure. I would totally try an aluminum spork and compare them if you had one.
Because
I'm super sure of the material.
Just asking because there are so many titanium things coming around are being sold, and I'm not sure if it's just a gimmick or if it's actually beneficial in some way. I don't know. That would be interesting to know.
That's a good thing to figure out. I've never thought about that before. That's a good thing to check out. Yeah.
Okay. So, and since we're speaking about non-bag related items, what are your? That's something that I'm asking myself at the moment, and I'm trying to venture out in different topics for the channel. So my question to you would be, what are your plans for the future of your YouTube channel for Packhacker? Because do you think about doing other items as well or other topics and that aren't bag related in that sense?
Yes. So for Packhacker right now, I would say we're mostly bags. And if you go to our website, that blend is a little bit different. Mm-hmm. We do a lot of written reviews on different travel items and talk about them. And I think we'd like to bring some more travel gear into the YouTube channel in the future. But what we've found and what I've found is that it's a little bit harder to speak about. It's very easy to speak about bags because there's a lot to talk about and there's a lot of variants.
Yeah.
But some travel gear doesn't necessarily warrant itself to a full video review. So the reason why we do mostly bags on the YouTube channel is because it's, there's a lot to talk about, very visual thing. Whereas with travel gear, sometimes you can get away with just writing about it and showing a couple photos.
Of course, yeah.
I think for the future, it's continuing to build up our library of packs and build up our knowledge. I say we because I do have a couple contributors that are helping with writing, and now one of my video editors, Nathan, has now made his first review for our channel. So super excited about that.
Cool.
But yeah, our goal, I think, our ultimate goal is to help people optimize their travel experience and how they travel and what they bring with them and educate people that there's a better way to travel. And I think what's interesting about that goal is that you have people on the side of, you can say, hey, you should roll your clothes because you'll save a ton of room in your pack, right? And that is mind-blowing. I remember the first time I heard that a couple years ago, I was like, oh my God, you could save so much space, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then,
exactly.
And then you've got people like us that are bag nerds, and they want to know that this is 1000D Cordura, YKK number 10 racket coil zipper, this, that, and the other thing. And I think striking that balance is interesting. So how do we make it valuable for both of those parties to kind of learn and get good value from our site and YouTube channel?
But
yeah,
all right, that's for Packhacker. What would interest you besides bag? Would you love to review other items as well besides that? Are there any other interests? Obviously, the channel name Packhacker only lends itself to reviewing bags, of course, but would you like to do something else as well? Reviewing as well?
Yeah, no, let's go hot tubs. Let's just get into hot tubs. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I think like I'm really aiming to build up knowledge in that category, and I think it's maybe we'll review things in the future. Right now, from like the brand perspective, we're just really focused on travel. And I think once you start to introduce a bunch of different items in there, it kind of confuses people, and we can't do as good of a service, at least at the scale that we are and the size that we are now, to people if we're like, oh, let's like look at this RAM that we just put into our computer. Let's review that. Let's take a look at this sled that we used outside, and it gets a little bit.
Yeah, it gets confusing, right? Yeah.
It's confusing, yeah. Well, how have you? Yeah, I mean, you've got a good variety of videos, but
I think to me, it's. I'm actually asking you that because I'm at the moment struggling myself, because I'm currently watching so many YouTube videos and read so many articles on how to grow your channel, right? And the most important thing that everyone is telling you is like, stay in your niche or keep to your niche. And for instance, like if you have an Instagram channel, Instagram feed, and you are about coffee, then every single photo is supposed to be about coffee. And I think that's kind of boring, or can get kind of boring, because it's always the same. So I'm kind of struggling within this paradox I want to grow my channel, but I don't want to bore myself too much if I just do all the same. That's why I'm at the moment asking myself that question quite a lot, in which obviously I love this bag topic, but I would love to, I think like all the YouTube photography channels and all the YouTube tech channels, they have it so much easier because they have so many people that are actually interested in that thing, or know that they are interested in photography or in tech. And if you're a tech channel, you can review like obviously everything that's run by electricity, right? And we are kind of limited to what we are doing. And I'm as I said, I'm currently contemplating about how to expand this niche a little bit, to bring a little bit more awareness to it as well.
Right.
But I don't know how to do that yet, so I'm thinking about it.
That's a tough one. I mean, I could probably answer you better in like 6 months or a year or something after we grow a little bit more. But I think it's hard, and you're a film editor most of the time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I'm a designer like by trade. I've been doing design work for like 12 years. But I think what's been interesting, and maybe you can relate to this as a film editor, what's been interesting about being a designer is I've had the opportunity to go in and learn so much about different businesses. Like, I was a design manager at Apple. I got the tech side of things and understanding how working at a super large company goes. And then I worked at like restaurant focused startups. So I got to learn a lot about the restaurant industry. I did a lot of work with American Express when I was a junior designer. So I got to understand, kind of how that financial world works a little bit. And now when you're like trying to own your own channel, you are kind of like in that niche, and you don't get quite as widespread across, because you can apply film editing to everything. You could apply design to everything. But now with this topic of bags and like EDC, it's like you're kind of, you're there. I don't know, man. I mean, that's a tough one. I think if we ever, let's hypothetically say that Packhacker reviewed like every single bag ever in the entire world, like, which will never happen. But I think then we'd want to start to move into like broaden the niche in terms of like the travel niche. So that's kind of like our goal and our sandbox to always play in is travel. And then from there, obviously we'll see what happens, but it's tough, man. I don't know. If you figure it out, let me know. Because I would love to know.
I will. I'm still thinking about it. But speaking of designing, have you thought about designing a bag yourself?
I don't know. Like, I mean, I think understanding the user experience of a bag and walking through how most people are going to use it is different than designing it yourself. I mean,
exactly.
It's a big piece of it, but you know, on some of our reviews, and when we start talking about the cons of bags, and we try to, if we put a suggestion in, we're always careful to be like, but we're not bag designers, so like we don't know if that's a good idea or not, because you know, there are some people that are really professional bag designers. They've been doing this for years, and they understand fabrics and like, you know, sewing patterns. And
it's such a difficult topic that's so underestimated by many people. I think designing a bag is, wow. I'm always impressed if I talk with some designers of a bag and they tell me what they did, and it's incredible. It's a lot of work and a lot of knowledge that goes into it as well, right?
And then you design one too, and then you have to manage the manufacturing chain. You got to make sure that all the you know, all your deadlines are hit. You got to make sure there's enough demand to fill your order, and that becomes crazy. I mean, if we end up doing that, I think it would be, I'd bring in probably like a product designer with a ton of experience, and I'd love to, you know, be a part of the design of it. And as a digital designer, I think a lot of that, you know, transfers over. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we thought about, but definitely a lot of work. What about you? Have you thought about making one? I mean, you've reviewed how many bags now? Probably hundreds.
No, it's not 100. No, I don't know. I don't know how many bags I have been, but I usually there have been a lot of comments on the YouTube channel that have asked me if I ever designed a bag, and doing the live streams and stuff, many have asked me, but I always answer that I compare myself to a film critic. Yep. So like a film critic knows when a movie is bad or good, but he has no idea about directing or acting or anything. So that's what I think about myself. I know which bag is good or which bag is bad, but I wouldn't think I could design one. But my dream would be like in, I don't know, 3-4 years, if a company would approach me and say like, okay, we have this prototype, do you want to work and collaborate on that and make like a special edition? That would be pretty cool. So having something that's, wow, that's time is running talking with you.
Yeah, that's fast.
I mean, that would be cool. Like having, like seeing a bag and then like say, okay, I would rather have this on there instead of that, and that would be cool. If that would be something in the future. And seeing so many bag companies. Have you realized how many Kickstarters there were last year? That's crazy, just for bags. And like every time someone on YouTube is commenting, hey, have you checked out this bag? And I'm like, I have no idea which bag that is. So many out there, it's incredible. And maybe in a year, bags will be mainstream. Who knows, right? I mean, then, that would be incredible.
I think with anything, I mean, if you know, 2 years ago when I was living in New York City, a lot of people had Herschel, right?
Yeah.
Herschel bags. And like, the quality of those is like, but,
yeah, I know.
But they're very, very popular, and everybody, you know, it's almost, I feel like bags are becoming more of like a fashionable item. And it's like a good way for people to accessorize and add to their overall look and aesthetic. So yeah, maybe it will become mainstream. But yeah, the amount of Kickstarters is like dizzying, and you get asked about a new bag and you're like, oh man, and like
that's crazy.
Those are hard though, because you've got like, you know, you get some no-name people and sometimes they just smash a home run, right?
Yeah.
But then you get other people starting a Kickstarter like, you know, Evergoods, for instance, which I think, you know, is like an ex-GoRuck guy, and where was North Face?
I think the other one is from North Face, but I'm not 100% sure. I just know that one guy is from GoRuck and the other guy has done a lot of design work for someone else, but I'm not sure.
Yes. But you take something like that, or like or I think it was Velamachi is another one of the newer brands. They do like motorcycle bags. You should get that for your motorcycle.
I have reviewed one, and I have the other bag. Yeah. They're really good. Also,
you like
if you're into riding, then they are good for everyday use. It's a specialized bag, I would call it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so yeah, I mean, that's. But you have like people like that have been in the industry.
All right. As you just have seen, both our cameras quit recording because we were nerding out too much about bags. We're already talking 1 hour, and I think we're just gonna quit at this point. And maybe you liked everything that we have been talking about, and maybe we can, I don't know about you, Tom, maybe we could do a live stream at some point if any one of you has some more questions about bags, traveling, EDC and stuff like that you want to ask Tom and I. And yeah, check out Tom's channel at
Packhacker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also the website packhacker.com, right?
Exactly, yeah, you got it.
And like always, if you have any more questions for Tom or me, just comment below. And I bet Tom will also check out the comment section as soon as this video is online. And yeah, subscribe to his channel, subscribe to my channel, and we will see you the next time.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Bo.
All right, thanks for being here, of course. All right, and let's stop the cameras.
Stop the cameras, there we go.
Thank you very much for watching this episode of Talking With, and I hope you enjoyed the friendly chat that I had with Tom from Packhacker. If you have any more questions for Tom or for me, please comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, click the like button. And please feel free to subscribe to Tom from Packhacker, but also to my channel, and click that little bell icon so you won't miss the next videos. Thank you very much.